Hey, I'm Brian with the Daily News Autos. Today we're with the 2016 Mazda CX-9. Now Mazda completely redesigned this thing for this year. They had a first generation CX-9 which sold fairly well, but they're hoping to capitalize with this one. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to mess around with the Mazda Connect infotainment system and show you how it works. Basically, Mazda Connect is fairly similar to almost what you'd find on something like a BMW or an Audi instead of most mainstream brands. It's controlled by this little dial controller down here, which has 5 different buttons around it, and the volume knob is right next to it as well, putting everything within arm's reach under the shifter. Now, it's got 5 separate menu functions on the main screen here. Applications, entertainment, communication, navigation, and settings. Going to applications gives you a couple different functions. You can look at the traffic map that they provide for you to see how the different highways and major routes around you are looking. We're in New York, or at least the New York area, so obviously traffic's not going to be great pretty much at any hour of the day, but for your commute it's probably a pretty handy tool. You can also check your fuel economy for this drive alone, and then your history as well. There's also the ability to set status reminders and vehicle warnings, so you can actually remind yourself when the car needs to go in for maintenance. Going to the entertainment menu gives you pretty standard entertainment controls. You can choose between sources, FM and AM radio, satellite radio if you have that equipped, Bluetooth audio, and it gives you 3 internet radio services if you hook up your device through USB connection. The communication menu is pretty straightforward as well. Allows you to control phone functions. You can set favorites, you can go through your contacts, check your call history, even dial certain numbers from here. I recommend setting your favorites and then leaving them, because if you don't have to delve through your contacts when you're driving, it's probably better off for your own safety. Now, this particular CX-9 comes equipped with satellite navigation, and it operates pretty standard to what you'd find for most navigation systems. You can change the display settings to go between 2D, 3D, or you can set north as the upward direction. Setting destinations can be difficult though, because you have to choose each individual letter by scrolling through the dials as opposed to pressing them on the touchscreen. It's not the best method in the world, but once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to manage. Finally though is the settings menu, and unfortunately I have a couple of quibbles with this thing. This car is equipped with a head-up display, which you can control the height of, the brightness, and certain information that's displayed. But the problem is that you have to go through the settings menu in here to be able to do that. Other cars allow you to use a simple toggle switch to set the height, but going through the menus here can be very distracting while you're driving. So I recommend setting the head-up display height at a height that you prefer before you set off for your drive. Other than that though, Mazda Connect is pretty straightforward to use. If you can get used to not reaching for the touchscreen and using the controller instead, the learning curve is fairly easy. I just wish they'd get rid of this iPad-like stuck-on infotainment-looking screen and make it part of the dashboard again, but I'll let the designers confer on that one. Well, that's all for now. I'm Brian with the Daily News Autos, and we'll see you next time.